Egypt and the classical world cross-cultural encounters in antiquity. The creation of new cultural codes, the Ptolemaic queens and their syncretic processes with Isis, Hathor, and Aphrodite. Ideological framework. The 4th century BC was a period of widespread transformation, marked by the transition from the ancient, Near Eastern empires to the Hellenistic kingdoms, in which Egypt played a central role. Through the conquests of Alexander the Great, the known world became more intensively interconnected than ever before. Egypt was already a millennia-old civilization with a rich intellectual, artistic, and cultural tradition, and the foundation of Alexandria 331 BC, in the context of the rise of the Hellenistic kingdoms, provided a new way in which the land by the Nile was centralized, one that invited even greater cross-cultural interaction. For the Ptolemies 305–30 BC, the Greco-Macedonian rulers of Hellenistic Egypt, the use of the past was crucial to constructing an identity for their multicultural empire. To achieve this, they used different identities in different circumstances, connecting themselves to existing Egyptian traditions, modifying them, or creating new ones. Ideological framework. Egyptian kingship, a demonstration of the power of the creator god, was assumed by a mortal ruler who needed divine legitimation. According to the myth of the divine birth, the pharaoh was the bodily offspring of the gods and thus their deputy. Such myths were mobilized politically and used to establish and reinforce the kings and the dynasty's claim to the throne. The numerous women surrounding the king, whose role was defined by their relationship to him, were intended to support him, while he relied on them, notably for the transmission of the office from father to son. The king's mother was the protector of this transition, a role filled in the divine world by Isis, who conceived Horus, the son of Osiris. A feminine element is necessary in all creative and generative acts, ensuring renewal and continuity. The king's wife was considered to be a manifestation of Hathor, the female prototype of creation, a goddess who received specific attention in the Ptolemaic period. For example, in the temple of Hathor at Dendera, the goddess can be depicted with the scepter, which is normally attributed to male gods, rather than that which is usually held by goddesses. Together with epithets that describe her as the creator god lady of all, this scepter confirms Hathor's androgynous characteristics. As the queen was the manifestation of Hathor on earth, this concept also applied to her, further defining her role within the dynasty as a creator. In theory, female power did not compete with kingship, which was predominantly male, but women with political power were not isolated cases, and some rulers had a female identity, such as Hatshepsut in the 18th dynasty. On the one hand, Hellenistic royal women generally gained prestige and power by giving birth to a child, especially the heir. On the other hand, knowledge acquired through their role as priestesses also set these royal women apart and marked them as active participants in the cult, as is described below for Arsinoe. The more symbolic disposition of prestige is rather difficult to measure, but can be translated into political power. The Ptolemaic queens, especially Arsinoe and Cleopatra, and their advisors and supporters must have been very much aware of the possibilities that were created by establishing new roles and modes of presentation for royal women, including the interactions with the divine world. As Lana Troy has described, the analogy between kingship and the androgyny of the creator enables the female monarch to manifest herself in the masculine role. The female Horus provides a shift in emphasis in the character of the king, but remains consistent with the basic worldview of the Egyptian. The Egyptian priests of the Ptolemaic period played not only with the modes of iconographic expression, in temple reliefs, stelae and statues 9, but also or especially with hieroglyphs and designations that were applied to both queens and goddesses. This is illuminated below by specific epithets, which were applied to the Ptolemaic queens and the goddesses alike. Each